Hey, this is Dion from Voss Media Board Game Cafe and Champions of Tabletop. This is Voss Media 5 and 5, where we take 5 games that we suggest that you run out and purchase from your friendly local game store, and 5 that you need to go pre-order. Check out 5 and 5.
Here are our 5 new releases for the month of June 3rd to 9th, 2024. We will start off with Captain Flip. Ahoy, Captain! Hoist your flag, recruit a crew, and fill your coffers with shiny gold coins. Captain Flip is a game of obvious simplicity explained in less time than a cannonball shot. On your turn, draw a tile from the bag. You like it? Keep it. You don't like it? Flip it. Then place it on your board to form your crew. With its 9 characters and 4 boards with different tactics, Captain Flip offers an immediate, fun, and subtle gaming experience. Suggested retail is $30. Take a look at Captain Flip for a family weight game. Ever wanted to defeat Skynet and destroy the Terminator? No? Just me then. This week, the Terminator RPG T2 Judgment Day releases. The Terminator T2 sourcebook covers all the action from the Terminator 2 movie and a wealth of material besides. Covering the Resistance and its time travelers, it upgrades the Terminator game to include Terminator PCs and provides a wealth of information on the war against the machines. But they don't go unchallenged. Also, Inside Skynet brings its A-game with T-1000s and a wealth of upgrades for its earlier infiltrators. Expand your Terminator campaign into the 90s and dark future of post-apocalyptic 2020. Get your leather jacket and play with rules for playing Terminator player characters. Expanded bestiary with models from upgraded T-800s to the T-1000 and the horrors of liquid metal. A wealth of NPCs and playable options for all timelines. Join the Time Displacement Commandos and take the fight to Skynet across multiple timelines. Suggested retail of $57. Defeat Skynet or die trying. Another release this week is Clash of Magic Schools from our friends at ELO. In the 2-player game Clash of Magic Schools, each player is the headmaster of one of the magic schools facing each other in the finals of the Tournament of Sorcerers. Be prepared to do anything it takes to help your school win this prestigious challenge. During the game, send your students to face danger in a series of perilous trials across different arenas, while knowing that the rival school will try to steal victory from you at any cost, even by using forbidden magic. Tensions are high. Who will win the Tournament of Sorcerers this year? The suggested retail $25. Add this to your 2-player game section. One that we have been waiting on is finally here this week, Escape from New York. In Escape from New York, by the renowned Kevin Wilson, players will attempt, in a race against time, to find the president and the precious tape and bring them back from the most dangerous prison in the world, all of Manhattan. You will play as Snake, Brain, Maggie, and Cabby, while you will initially cooperate against New York's gangs. With time, you will have occasions to betray the others and try to win alone. Will you resist the temptation and stick to the collective victory, or will you throw your temporary companions under the taxi at the first occasion? Play as characters and face villains all directly taken from the movie, with uniquely themed abilities and play style. Semi-cooperative, where all of you can become the traitor when you judge it to be convenient. Steal cars from the enemies and use them. Explore a randomly generated map, different for each game. Suggested retail is $60, and we can't wait to be told, you go in, find the president, bring him out in less than 24 hours, and you're a free man. The last game on our list this week, Sally Face, Strange Nightmares. This is the retail edition of Sally Face, Strange Nightmares. It includes 4 engaging stories to immerse you into the world of Sally Face. The new cooperative tabletop game reimagines the massive award-winning video game as a fun and exciting tabletop game. You'll work with your friends to uncover secrets and unveil the truth as you explore the Addison apartments, working through each of the 4 intriguing and unique storylines included with the game, facing events and characters that echo and expand upon the video game. You and your friends will roll dice, solve mysteries, avoid cops and spirits, and investigate strange happenings in the apartment building. You'll always need to keep one eye over your shoulder, though, or else corruption will overwhelm you as the red-eyed demon lurks in the shadows. Do you have what it takes to overcome these strange nightmares? Suggested retail is $40. If you are a fan of Sally Face, grab this one, or if you are a fan of co-op adventures, as this looks to fill that need.
That was our 5 new releases this week. Go and pick them up at your friendly local game store. Now, let's switch it up and look at 5 games you should go and pre-order today. The first on our list is a group of tabletop role-playing books coming to retail called Tales of the Valiant. The Tales of the Valiant RPG is a Black Flag role-playing game from Kobold Press. Gather your friends and journey together across a labyrinth of worlds in search of adventure. The player's guide includes 13 base classes, lineages, and heritages from classic fantasy role-playing, and all the rules you need to be a player or GM, all in one book. The Monster Vault includes every dungeon-crawling and fire-belching fantasy creature you need to craft compelling fantasy encounters. It also has concrete advice on making challenging encounters and using the new Doom trait on monsters. Black Flag Role-Playing is an open 5e gaming system that enables anyone to publish and play fantasy tabletop, free, forever. The Tales of the Valiant role-playing game runs on BFR rules. It allows us to experiment with the rules and tell some of our own stories. Pre-orders for these books' deadline is June 20th, with a retail release of July 17th, with a suggested retail of $60 for the base and $80 for the collector's editions. A fun-looking 2-player experience that is releasing October 1st, but has a pre-order deadline of June 24th, is Ironwood. Ironwood is a rules-light, highly asymmetric, card-driven tactical game for 1 to 2 players. Each round, you and your opponent alternate playing a total of 3 of your faction-specific cards for their action effects. These effects include positioning your warbands, initiating combat, extracting crystals, bestowing temporary passive effects, and many more. When combat occurs, you will use the same cards for their combat values instead, in a simultaneous bid to gain combat bonuses, inflict and fend off casualties, and augment the dominance value of your warbands to win the combat. The 2 factions are completely asymmetric in their playstyles, decks, victory conditions, even in which parts of the map they can access. Check out this heavier 2-player game and pre-order today. The third one we are going to talk about is Quartz. It seems that new mines keep being discovered, but these mines aren't that big, and all the dwarves will have to get the most of them in just one day. In this dice version of Quartz, the bet remains the same. Everyone must explore the mine and sell the mined crystals in the city at the end of the day. The dwarf who manages to collect the most money will have the mine all to himself. At the end of the game, everyone receives points according to the value of the crystals they have, being entitled to bonus points for collections of equal crystals. Each unstable crystal will penalize its owner 3 points less, and the player with the fewest crystals in the chest loses 5 points. The game is divided into 6 rounds. On their turn, each player must mine a crystal, roll the dice, perform actions. Check out this game from our friends at Lucky Duck Games. It releases August 16th with a pre-order deadline of June 27th. Suggested retail of only $25. The next game is one we are very excited about and has flown under the radar, Tales of the Arthurian Knights. Experience the world of King Arthur as never before. The standalone sequel to Tales of the Arabian Nights is finally here, with mechanics and gameplay based on the acclaimed classic. As a Knight of the Round Table, you will meet legendary figures, encounter fabled creatures, battle mighty enemies, take on challenging quests, and discover wondrous places of power as you pursue your destiny in this vastly replayable game. Whether playing competitively or cooperatively, you will breathe life into the thousands of astounding, amusing, and spellbinding encounters waiting for you within the Book of Tales. Heed the call of your liege and seek renown that will last through the ages. Your choices make the story your very own. Every decision contributes to the unique story you weave. Will you pursue a path of chivalric romance, hold yourself to divine ideals, or become a sinister villain? Will you become esteemed or accursed, beloved or scorned? Adventure through Arthurian realms at the height of glory. Encounter legendary people, places, and events. Share and role-play the many epic stories you experience. Pre-order deadline for this one is June 27th, with a release in November this year. Suggested retail for this one is $80, as it will be on our November top 5 lists, as we are looking forward to this one. The last one we are going to talk about is Nekojima. In Nekojima, the island of cats in Japan, an electricity network is developing to supply the various lively districts of the island. The installation of electric poles becomes more complex due to the narrowness of the territory and its curious population of cats strolling on the cables. Nekojima is a wooden game of skill and dexterity in which you will have to keep an entire installation in balance. Players must take turns placing or stacking denshu, electrical poles, respecting the locations without any hanging cables touching. But be careful not to be the one to bring down the structure. This game requires reflection, concentration, and skill. In competition, the player who knocks down the structure loses. In cooperation, the goal is to go as far as possible. Pre-orders are due by June 27th, with an August 1st release. Retail price is suggested at $37. Thank you for joining us for this week's Voss Media 5 and 5. Remember that all of these games you should run out and pre-order as soon as possible at your friendly local game store. If you don't have a friendly local game store, you can always swing into vossmediastore.com to place your pre-order for any of these titles. From everyone here at Voss Media Board Game Cafe and Champions of Tabletop, remember, never stop playing.